youth soccer in this country isn't bad. It's horrific. This isn't a Matt Crocker problem. We have a systemic problem in America. Did everybody hear that? Our youth soccer is broken. Matt Crocker could have the best ideas in the history of football. He comes from a country that implemented those ideas that is the size of Alabama. This is our problem. Youth soccer in America is our problem.
Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. Volkswagen has long been a supporter of soccer in America and has proudly been a partner of U.S. Soccer for over 5 years.
Welcome into Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. LD,
Yes,
I had a weekend.
I saw a lot of you, bud.
Yeah, you did.
I saw you with Alan Shearer, with Theo Walcott, with
Legends.
Bex, with a lot of legends around you.
The NBC Fan Fest is crazy. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing. And then like,
Hey,
by the
I
end,
have a question.
Go on,
How
tell
did
me.
they get all those? Do people just show up?
yeah, well,
It's
they
insane. There's like thousands of people out there.
there's like, over the course of the weekend, I think there's like, I don't know, I think 30,000 sign up and then however many
Jesus,
trickle
it's
in, it's not always that number, but like, it's a
insane.
lot, man. And it's crazy because what happens is depending on when your team is playing, like if you're like, let's say Arsenal's playing early, which they didn't, or like Leeds is playing, you get all these Leeds fans coming in at like 10:30 and there for a bit, and then they go out and
And
then
they'll
the
bounce.
Chelsea fans come in.
That's fun.
It was wild, man. It was super crazy. But like here's the thing. We both played in the Premier League. I feel so lucky and blessed. I know it sounds cheesy, but like you stand shoulder to shoulder with Alan Shearer and you're like, holy hell, this guy, like, this is Alan Shearer.
All-time striker.
I played against him, but like
Yeah.
you're like, and I get that way against some of these Premier League legends where I'm just like, you are bigger than the game. It's incredible. But anyway,
That
a
is
lot
cool.
of fun. What'd
It
you
was
do?
fun to watch. I was home finally.
Nice.
I was supposed to come home Saturday from Seattle, and then you ever do this? Like Friday night, I did this golf thing with Ken Griffey, which was really cool in Seattle. And then right after, I was like, man, is there a flight? And I checked, there was a flight. I'm like, I'm out. I went home, got home at like midnight, and just
I know
spent the
that.
weekend with my family. Oh, it was the best.
Good. I know
It was
that
the
feeling.
best.
You and I have been
needed it.
traveling.
Too. We've been traveling, man. Okay, we got a lot today, so let's get right into it. Make sure, as always, guys, follow us on social media at Unfiltered Soccer. Subscribe anywhere you get the show, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then always you can send in questions to JR at feedback@unfilteredsoccer.com.
Oh, wait,
All right.
can I interrupt you real quick? Sorry.
Yeah. you
Sorry.
can interrupt.
As I was having my hand like this and I have this Nas tattoo.
Mhm.
Did you see what I did this weekend, which was like the highlight of my weekend?
No. What?
There was a Premier League fan and she
Yeah.
she's running over to me. She's like,
yeah.
Can you sign my knee or leg? I want to get a tattoo. And I'm like, yes, absolutely I can. And so
That's amazing.
which is amazing because I've never.
So then you tell her like she's got to put a picture or whatever when she gets it.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
we can see
she'll
it.
post it and tag it.
That's
So
amazing.
I signed like the top for a knee and with like my autograph and then she's gonna get a tattoo, which is how I got Nas. Right
Do you
there.
think she'll regret that more or less than like if she got like a significant other tattooed on her?
No, she'll love that.
Because at some point you'll get canceled and then she'll be like, God, why did I do that?
No. I mean, getting an American legend tattoo. Let's move on.
Okay, anyway, we digress. All right, USMNT on USLNT. Okay, there was a lot of play on the field this week, but something that happened off the field that really shocked a lot of us. Matt Crocker left his role as U.S. Soccer sporting director. So just so people understand, Matt Crocker, I believe he's Welsh. He came in 3 years ago. He was hired by U.S. Soccer to run all of the soccer side. And for people, so they understand, his job description was a few things: hire and fire the national team coaches, and then basically oversee the entire technical sporting side of the sport. And so that was his charge. The main thing people pay attention to with him is who's he hiring as the national team coach. So he hired Emma Hayes. He hired Mauricio Pochettino. He rehired Greg Berhalter in the beginning before firing him. That was sort of his main charge. And then he's also like a big picture strategist. And we'll get into this, this US way that he helped create. So I was we both had comments on it. You weren't as bothered by it. And by the way, I wasn't as bothered by the get paid part. We all at some point great, money makes the world go round and it's great to get paid. Just the timing of it was bizarre. And people, I think, were a little worried. What does this mean for the World Cup and the team and all? It doesn't mean anything for the team other than if you're anywhere in life and all of a sudden your boss or one of your bosses just bounces out of nowhere for no reason, you're like, wait, is something going on here?
Right.
Like, am I missing? Is the ship sinking and he's the first one to jump off? And so I think for the players, there might be a tiny bit of that. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. So Matt Crocker, as I mentioned in the little clip you and I dropped on social, I mean, go get paid, man. Like, that's a huge role. Good for you. Like, that's what you probably should do, I guess. For the players, from what I heard, LD, through having a few different conversations over the last few days, this had sort of been in the works during the last camp, right? So the last two games, Belgium and Portugal. So I have a feeling, or I was told this, that I think the player, you and I have been senior players on the national team. Nothing can happen that's happening at US Soccer on any level without somebody,
without hearing
one of us
about it.
knowing. Like, between me and you and Clint and Josie and Michael and Carlos in the meal room, one of us talked to somebody, high up in the soccer federation or wherever. We knew everything. So those players apparently had wind of this possibly happening prior to those games, which I don't think is a reflection of the results. But
can you imagine?
No, but I do think, like, in a, I don't know, we could probably go back 4 years, but let's just take the last 2 years as sort of a snapshot. There seems to be, I don't know the right terminology, a wishy-washy nature to this team, whether that be players not coming in or different moments throughout this last 2 years. Again, we have been critical of them. Other people have been critical, but it just sort of seems like the handling of, which was Matt Crocker, but the handling of, like, the hiring or the rehiring of Greg Berhalter, then the firing because of results, and then Pochettino coming in, and then again the players sort of picking and choosing when they want to turn up, and now Matt Crocker leaves. It just sort of is a similar narrative. Does that make sense? Like, if everything was like this and Matt Crocker left, I'd be like, oh, that's a big news. But I'm like, this sort of kind of goes along with the narrative of this current team.
It's a good point. I just thought of something I hadn't thought about as you said that. When remember with the Pulisic stuff last summer, and you were saying Matt Crocker, when he first took the role, should have been sitting with every sporting director of every one of these clubs and saying, hey, just so you know, every time we have a camp, our players coming in. And just start, like, that's your baseline. Now, can you negotiate off that and whatever? Sure. But it makes me realize now, just as you're saying that, we'll get into this later with Brendan Aronson too, and do these guys care? Yeah, they care. But is this the number one priority for them? And for Matt Crocker, was this the number one priority in his life? No, absolutely not. Right? Absolutely not.
So, but on that point, and this is where, and I have, as you do, an amazing relationship with U.S. men's national team fans, right? Just through our history, we have an incredible relationship. You oftentimes hear me saying, I know some fans don't like it, and I respect that. Inside of our borders, we think U.S. soccer is the best. We think the American players are the best. We love it, and I drink that Kool-Aid too. The fact of the matter is, when you go outside of here, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's why we said, Ricardo Pepi, force this move to Fulham, because if they pass on you, they might go get somebody else. You ain't that important. American players aren't that important in Europe. And so I think U.S. soccer is looked upon as, we said it, and we said it with the center back, Noah Kai Banks. We've talked about this as sort of U.S. being second fiddle. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a hypothetical, and you can answer it, or fans can write into us and answer it. If the World Cup 2026 was in England, okay, and Matt Crocker was a technical director of the England national team, okay, you know what I'm about to say. Would he have left?
No chance.
2 months before the World Cup?
No chance.
He wouldn't have.
No chance.
You know he wouldn't have.
Right.
Or he would have said, "Look, I'm willing to take the Saudi job, but I'm gonna negotiate tooth and nail to make sure it's after the World Cup." There's no chance he would have. but I feel like it was easy. This is maybe a little disrespectful to Matt Crocker because I don't know his decision making. It just feels like it was a little bit easy to leave. I just don't think you leave as a technical director of U.S. Soccer before the biggest World Cup in the history of the game. The history of the game.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't like it. I've had some interactions with Matt Crocker. I've always had a not great feeling about him. But I will say also, because we're honest here, the Emma Hayes hiring was an A plus 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 plus. I mean, like, absolutely. Pochettino, I think, was a great hire. We'll find out with the results in the World Cup. The Greg Berhalter rehiring was not a good choice at the time. And then the last thing he's been put in charge of, and this honestly, this part of it, Tim, bothers me the most, because I can't tell you how many messages I got from people saying, hey, in January, Matt Crocker was lecturing us, not lecturing, I mean, he was giving a presentation about how passionate he is and they are about changing youth soccer and soccer in this country. And then 2 months later, he's gone. And this is the guy who just set this whole curriculum and this whole development pathway. And now he's gone. And now you think, well, do we need to start over now? When you had a guy doing it who doesn't care about US soccer.
Sure.
And so that part bothers me. It's like, okay, can we get somebody in who genuinely, of course, yes, it's a job.
Yeah.
Genuinely cares about soccer in this country and the growth of it. I mean, genuinely cares.
Well, here's what you make a great point. And I would suggest to US Soccer that they seriously think about hiring you. No, because you're passionate about and you have connectivity about youth soccer in this country. Listen, guys, ladies, gents, youth soccer in this country isn't bad. It's horrific. It's horrific. So get this. Why I said about Matt Crocker, like, go get that money. This isn't a Matt Crocker problem. This is U.S. Soccer's problem. Hear me out. U.S. Soccer, stop hiring anybody with an English accent, anybody who's worked for the Dutch FA,
Belgian
or
FA, the French. Yeah.
Hear me out. We have a systemic problem in America. Did everybody hear that? Our youth soccer is broken. You've literally hired somebody who comes from a country the size of Alabama. I looked it up. Iowa, same thing. England. Matt Crocker could have the best ideas in the history of football. He comes from a country that implemented those ideas that is the size of Iowa or Alabama. So if he was in charge of the Alabama youth development program, I'd say Matt Crocker would knock it out of the park. This is our problem. Youth soccer in America is our problem. So we have got to have the expertise in this country to figure out how to fix it. A foreigner can't fix it. And Matt Crocker, and you're going to read Matt Crocker's quotes. Matt Crocker has never seen football issues this size. He hasn't. And with all due respect, he knows how to implement a youth development system and create a curriculum, but he doesn't know how to do it for the country the size of America. Football in England is this big. It's the size of Alabama. I mean, I don't know how else it's our problem to fix. So every time we go outside, the way the Spanish and Spanish be, and they bring these kids through, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's never going to work in America because our system's so broken.
Just to your point, he did a long article on The Athletic, and then just the one quote, he said, "It's a bigger beast than I ever expected. It's so complex. It's so political." Yeah, no shit, dude. Like, anybody who's been here for a long or grown up here or know, yes, it is. And so you can't just, hey, let's all do it the same way. And like, we're all in it for US soccer, right? And these clubs are making 20, 30, 50 million a year. They're like, yeah, do me a favor, bud.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it my way because I'm making a lot of money. So anyway, we'll get into that another time. I am curious what you guys all think about him leaving. So you guys always have good perspective in it. We're in it, and so I'm curious what people think, because maybe you guys are like, who cares, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I think they care. The other part of this, LD, is sort of like, if you go back to if you go back to, we didn't qualify for 2017 qualification, right? We didn't qualify for 2018. All right. So we didn't qualify for 2018. U.S. Soccer was so ashamed of that group that they basically pushed everybody aside, right? They said, that happened over here, look over there, right? They just wanted you to like forget about it, right? So they got rid of, I was done, other players were done, but they got rid of your Josie Altidores, your Michael Bradleys, the ones who could sort of usher in a new era, right? They gave the reins to these kids, they had a good showing of themselves in the 2022 World Cup. And then in between that time, right, it took them forever to hire Greg Berhalter. They then hire Greg Berhalter. All that crap happens after the World Cup. They don't know if they're going to hire him. They rehire him, right? Then they fire him. Then they bring Poch in, and then this has been a bit of a mess. Then Matt Crocker leaves. Like, this has been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So my point to you is, Matt Crocker is gone. Pochettino, come July 18th, 19th, he's out. So, like, who are we tasking? Like, so does this continue? Or who are we tasking to actually go out and find us the next head coach, the right coach? Who happens to live in Canada, by the way.
So Cindy Parlow-Cohn and JT Batson, who the president and CEO now, president and CEO. I've gotten to know them well. I think they do a phenomenal job in the things they do.
Agree.
And by the way, for people who are like, well, they don't know it. Well, Cindy knows a lot about soccer, but JT doesn't know a lot about soccer. JT played soccer. He understands soccer. He would admit he's not the expert on it. JT is a machine in what he does. He just got a new training facility built in Atlanta that costs hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And that is so valuable. My suggestion, and I will say this to them: get somebody in the room with you who can help advise,
correct,
and help make sure that this hire is done right. This next person, whoever is crew, and who knows who it is. There's lots of candidates, lots of people out there. This has to be right. You have to get it right.
You're right. And again, I speak to JT. I really like JT. The point that you're making is the biggest problem is the person you're talking about most likely needs to be an ex-player of sorts, right? But they have to have gravitas. They have to have gravitas in the business realm. They have to have it in a sort of front-facing media realm.
Yeah,
it can't just be a former player. That doesn't tick the box.
I agree.
It doesn't tick the box. It's bigger than that.
I agree with that. And there's lots of good candidates. Like there are a lot of people out there who genuinely care and would do it the right way.
It's time for the Unfiltered Refresh, sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Get Coors Light delivered. Go to CoorsLight.com/UFS. LD, talk to me. Tell me who chose chill this week.
Yeah, I'm taking this one, Tim. So this weekend, a young woman who played for me during my very short time at San Diego Wave, Kennedy Wesley, got subbed on for the national team, US Women's national team, against Japan at halftime, and proceeded to have an assist on a corner, a fantastic header back across the goal that Naomi Girma, another woman I had the pleasure of coaching, headed in. And then later, when it was 2-0, she got a goal of her own. First international goal. And, Tim, when you're around people, when you're a coach, like you build amazing connections with certain people. With the Loyal, there were certain people. When you're a player, there's certain connections you build. And as a coach, it is so rewarding. It's literally like one of your children succeeding. And for Kennedy to watch her score and the joy in her face, I sent her a message after, and she said it's literally a dream come true for her to score a goal for her national team.
Of course.
I am just so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. I told her this is only the beginning. Keep going. And I the first week I was there with her, she just had something different about her. And I told somebody, I wonder if I have the text still. I said, I think this girl's going to play for the national team. Like she's really special and she has something special about her. So I'm so happy for her, man. She absolutely chose chill this week. Amazing. Ken, to many more.
Congratulations.
Cheers to you. Reminder, guys, to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Let's take a break, Tim. When we come back, Matt Crocker was not the only one abruptly departing his job. Javier Mascherano also left Inter Miami this week. wild scenes. So we will talk about that and more right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. Stay right there. The Unfiltered Soccer podcast is brought to you by Volkswagen. It's really easy to become a passenger in life.
Take control. Live life in the driver's seat. Learn more at VW.com.
Life. If we're not living it, what are we doing here?
Jump around. Jump up and get down. Jump.
So,
LD, MLS is back.
Yes, it is. And you know what that means? Saturdays are once again all about soccer.
Walmart is making Saturdays of soccer even more glorious with Walmart Saturday Showdown. From early practices to late night watch parties.
Yeah, Walmart and MLS bring every emotion of the beautiful game to Saturdays. Joy, nerves, excitement, and unforgettable golazos.
Walmart plays on Saturdays.
Who knew? This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. April is when things get real. Title races, knockout rounds, every match carrying a little more weight. There's no coasting right now. Every result matters. That's why I love this time of year. Club or country, there's always a match worth watching and something on the line. And if you're watching, you might as well get in on it with FanDuel. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Make a $5 bet, and if you win, you'll unlock $250 in bonus bets that you can use on goal scorer markets, match result, over-unders, same-game parlays, and much more. So as the pressure builds this month, make your move. Just visit FanDuel.com/unfiltered to download the app and get started.
All right, LD, some MLS news.
Mm-hmm.
Big one. My former team, Colorado Rapids, Inter Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Inter Miami win 3-2. But big news. Big news. I don't want to bury the lead, so we'll go with Mascherano first. Go.
Well, for most people in the world, it might be Messi as the lead, as he always is. But this was bizarre. Out of nowhere, Javier Mascherano, at least nowhere for us, just quits, up and leaves. And I'm curious from your perspective, you always have interesting perspective on all this. Like when a coach just up and leaves, and it's not like Matt Crocker had the Saudi Arabia thing.
Yeah.
And we don't think Javier Mascherano has somewhere else to go. He just bounced.
I mean,
So
maybe.
what's going on here?
Can just real quick so I can laugh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dax McCarty. Can you read Dax's quote?
Oh, you want to hear it now?
Yeah, I want to hear it now.
Dax McCarty. So, he says, if you believe Tata Martino, fresh off the best regular season in MLS history, and Javier Mascherano, fresh off winning MLS Cup 4 months ago, decided to just up and leave due to, quote, personal reasons only, I've got some oceanfront property to sell you in Nebraska. So what's going on here?
So here's the thing.
Help our listeners understand.
I oftentimes get in trouble for this because it's not accurate. But if a man, no, I'm being serious. Like at NBC, we're not going to speculate, and so we are definitely by the book and we do it right. But
you can speculate here.
I personally, if a manager, if there's a language from a club about a manager leaving, to me, he just got sacked. Like, there's no, bro, I don't believe anything. Because there's payment, like there's certain language that has to be said so the payments get through. And then, like, he got sacked for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Right. Okay. Actually, I hadn't even taken it that way, but I think you're right. I mean, if it's just so people know, if you get fired, you get paid. You get paid out, right? Unless you're getting fired for cause for doing something horrible.
Right.
If you up and leave, you're not getting paid.
Correct.
And I'm guessing Javier Mascherano wanted to get paid.
Yeah.
And so, I actually hadn't even thought. I'm stupid now for not even thinking.
No,
of
it
it that
just,
way.
I just think if you leave your post, if you leave your employment, like sort of like unwillingly, like you really don't want to leave, you got fired.
Right. And you
kinda.
wouldn't just leave because you want your severance package or whatever, right? So
Right.
something happened, and
Something happened. I also think that they didn't sort of achieve what they wanted to achieve this year.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, the season's not over yet, but in terms of silverware, the one they wanted, and there's also a good possibility. You said where is he going? I don't know, bro. He might have something lined up. You know what I mean? Like he might have something else lined up. A weird time because he could probably just wait till the summer, but I don't know.
Do you think people want to? This is going to sound like a really dumb question.
Sure.
And I'm sure like maybe the people write in and say, Landon, you're an idiot, which they mostly always do. Do you think people want to coach Messi? And I like just really taking that into like, is that something that's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation. It's all about him, right?
Yeah,
As it should be.
Yeah. You know my answer to this, right?
What?
My answer is
No, I don't.
everybody
You
wants
say
to
take the job?
everybody wants to see, everybody wants to watch Messi, everybody wants to play with him, and everybody wants to coach him. Because that's better than gold dust on your CV. Even, by the way, if you get sacked, even if it doesn't last long. Now, where you and I sit, it's very easy to sort of go, well, don't do that because that's just going to be, he's going to call the shots and it's going to be dumb. Yeah, but I just think people.
If you're a coach and they call you, you're going to.
Ultimately, yes. I mean, this club is run by 3 people, right? I mean, Jorge Mas, David Beckham,
yeah.
but mostly Lionel Messi.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it reminds me of the LeBron stuff. Like, do you really want to coach him or not? Because he's, behind the scenes probably making decisions and trying to get guys signed and, that kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean it's always bad, but yeah, I don't know. I always view these things differently.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it doesn't seem like many coaches have stuck.
Right.
This latest coach, is he going to stick? Maybe for 12 months or so. I don't know. But it's fine.
The new coach is Guillermo Hoyos. He's the man in charge temporarily, at least. And one source said he is the one that never says no to Messi. Like, jeez.
Don't mind it. Here, let me say that. Let me put this in perspective, LD.
Yeah.
You played for, and I often say this, probably the best run organization with its own flaws, but in all of MLS, like historically. Done a lot of things right. LA Galaxy, hats off to you. If all is said and done, right, and Messi retires from football, when 12 months, 18 months, I don't know, whatever, right? It's done. I would still look at this and go, okay, they had Phil Neville, they had Tata, they had Javier Mascherano, they had another one. They might have another one. If in all of that, during Messi's time, they end up winning 2-3 trophies, I'm going to say it's actually not a bad blueprint.
Right.
For that. Not for continued success, but
it's
for that.
The opposite of Montreal last week. We were saying they've had 10, 12 years or something like that, or 12 and 10 years or something.
Yeah, 10.
But they're not winning.
Right.
Right. So Miami's winning, and yeah, I agree. If that's if that's what it takes to, like, you got to move on and remotivate, and totally fine with that. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to see who they hire, and how that comes about. Because I thought Mascherano would be there till Messi was gone. To be honest, they were tight, they were friends, all that. So
I sort of thought that too, but
yeah, you guys let us know what you think.
Also, huge. Can we talk about the attendance for that game?
Yeah, big 775.
Yeah, second most
at Mile High.
Denver,
when I played there in 01, this weekend there were 75,000. When I played there were 75 people in 01. It's similar, very similar.
It's true, bro. We have so many stories about MLS 1.0.
Dude, I can't.
It's wild.
It's come a long way, my friend.
Yes, it has.
All right, Premier League. Oh, what a weekend.
Great
Tim,
weekend.
let me just tell you this.
Go on.
This is all I'm going to say about the Everton-Liverpool match.
Oh, God. Did they play?
Oh, actually, it didn't. Yeah, there was no game.
I didn't see it.
If Everton had won that match or even tied the match, this might have been my favorite Premier League weekend in history.
Yeah.
Because watching Arsenal suffer, watching Spurs get equalized at the end by Brighton, there was so much joy flowing out of me, and it got dampened a little bit by Everton. losing, but still, what a phenomenal weekend. It was so fun to watch.
I said sort of off the cuff during the weekend, I said, like, thank you, Premier League. I did, because I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know how many I played 400 times in the Premier League or whatever it was. Like, I still this weekend was nervous, excited. I'm
Totally.
just a bystander. I'm just a
You're
guy
just
who
like enthralled.
I'm like,
so
thank-
fun to watch. There's
thank you,
so
Premier
much
League.
going on.
It was
I know.
wild. Yeah,
There's like Champions League races with the Liverpool Everton stuff.
everything.
The top of the table, which we'll get to, and then the Villa Sunderland game was
Yeah.
amazing, which you didn't even pay attention to because all
Right.
the other stuff was going
Right.
on. That game
Right,
was
right.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with City Arsenal.
Yep.
Wild stat. City have lost only one of their last 40 league matches in April and May.
Yeah.
Winning their last 20 in a row at home. Winning their last 20 in a row home. So, like, Pep gets these guys going at the end, and it is, I mean, I want to put you on record here.
No. Yep.
Do Arsenal lose the title? City win it now?
So I'll answer that in a sec. Pep is so incredible. Pep's so incredible. This is like winning time for him. You know, like April, May. He turns a screw, and it's impressive. And what I would say is, and this isn't like I'm not sort of dampering what he's done, but the genius of Pep, and I remember speaking to Vincent Kompany when he and I shared. I think we were at the airport, or we were or something, and we were chatting, and he was just like, "Look," and this came out right after in years to come. He says, "Pep is just so hard on us every day. It's draining." It's draining. And it was a summertime. I think we were going to New York. So he was like, I'm so excited to get away because, you know, he's the captain. He was the captain of Man City, and Pep's so draining. But what he has, so you and I have played in seasons, right? And you start to get to the end of the season, you're like, I'm like petering out here, right? City have had so much money and have spent it so well that they've essentially had like starting 11. You've got about 7 guys in the waiting, being like, "Come on," whether that be a Phil Foden or in certain years, Doku. Yeah. So he has this ability to like really press guys, so that when one of them is like, "Oh, I'm a bit faltering," bang, Phil Foden, you go in, or Doku, you go in, or Shirky. By the way, don't forget, beginning of the year, Shirky was a luxury player, couldn't get in the lineup. They went, not sure he knows the City way, and he just bided his time. And now, by the way, Shirky's the man of the moment. When? April and May. And so he has the genius of Pep is his ability to like gas pedal these guys the whole way through without letting up. He's relentless. So that's not surprising. I don't, when it comes to analyzing, and you're on the desk a lot as well. And in this show, I don't like the flip flop, because it's easy to flip flop, right? It's easy to sort of go, "Oh my God, someone lost. Oh my God, someone won." I've picked Arsenal the last couple of years. I'm staying with them this year. They aren't playing well over the last, and the stats will tell you, over the last 8 games, right? And City's in the ascendancy. Here's why. City will win the game at Burnley this Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday,
right?
yeah.
And they'll go level on points. That leaves 5 games for both teams, right? If both of them win out, it's a big if. But what I saw from Arsenal yesterday, LD, Arsenal was the better team. Eza hit the post, like almost double doinked it, right? Really good strike. Kai Havertz goes through one-on-one with Donnarumma. He makes 2 brilliant saves. Should have been a goal. Then he misses the header that clangs off the crossbar. Plus the goal. So they should have had at least 2 or 3. That should have been a draw. They were the better team. And they went, and everyone said, will Mikel Arteta go for it? They went for it more than they ever have. So if they play like that, they haven't played like that in weeks. If they play like that, then I think they can win out. And if they win out, I think they win on goal difference. So that's your answer.
That was my next point. Is I was going to say, I think this Wednesday game with Burnley, everyone's kind of like, City will win. I think City need to win like 4-5, 6-0 because of goal difference. I think they're a goal behind right now in goal differential.
Yeah.
And so I think that could actually end up being a determining factor. which would be
Well,
really interesting to pay attention
Well, it's funny
to.
you say that. It's funny you say that. I actually think, and this is drilling down way too deep into minutia, but I do think this. If City win, which they will on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm Mikel Arteta, and I'm not, we go for the win. If we're in a position, LD, and we're 2-0 up, I think you make attacking substitutions and you go for the third.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next game, if you're ahead, I think you go for more.
I agree.
Strategically, like don't throw caution to the wind and concede. But I think if you're how you can get to a 2-0 game, LD, and you're like, all right, let's just bop it about.
That's
we
right.
got this. I think if they're in those positions, I don't think you bop it about. I think you're direct. I think you foot on the gas, and I think you try and get, because I do believe that Arsenal's only way now, sitting here today, their only way to win the league is by goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Well,
unless someone drops.
You know who does what you're talking about all the time? City. So they're up 3-0, they want 4. 4, they want 5. 5, they want 6. And so it'll be interesting. Wednesday's actually, it's kind of like a throwaway game at Burnley. I think it's an important game.
It's an important game.
I really do.
And they've shown they drop points. I mean, not now.
No, I know.
But they've shown they've dropped points this year. So
it's hard to imagine right now they would.
I know.
Okay, the other end of the table.
Yep.
Spurs. Oh God. Poor Dan, Andrew, all these guys on our staff love Spurs. And we're watching at the end, and and Xavi Simons, what a goal. And then you're just feeling like, oh, they finally got over the hump. And then they concede at the end. And I have to say, I loved it. I just love the chaos. It's so fun to watch.
Let me just tell you, for all the people listening, when you watch these guys on TV and you think you're watching robots, you think you're watching your superheroes, just remember they are human.
Yeah.
Because Spurs,
feeling it.
Spurs are fragile. And I said it on the desk this weekend. They have better players than Forest. They have better players than West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a new manager in who knows his tactics. He's got people playing, and they played well. But when it mattered the most, in moments, they are fragile. And I don't, I don't know how you knock that out of a team. De Zerbi comes in. I don't know how you knock that out of a team.
You knock it out if they won this game. If they had won this game, they would have said, okay, now we got over the hump. Now they're like, oh, now they expect to concede.
So my issue, I'm looking at the table now, and this is something that I made reference to on the weekend. I had Spurs staying up. You did hear me say HAD. But here's why. Here's why. Because I was expecting them to get last week and this week a result. And by not doing that, and we have another score here, Forest, who were brilliant at home, they went 1-0 down. Mm-hmm. And then Morgan Gibbs White just decided, hang on, where's my cape? Let me tie this thing on. I'm going to score a hat trick. Mm-hmm. They won running away 4-1. But that then put Forest 4 points ahead.
I think around 36, maybe 5.
5 points ahead. And if West Ham win today against Palace, they go 4. They go 4 points ahead.
They're not going to beat Palace.
So 4 and 5 points. So then you get 5 games left, and so this is how the way I math is like 4 points. 4 points is two results either way, right? So you have to get a draw, you have to get a win. Then the teams above you have to, in certain cases, lose. Mm-hmm. But there's only 5 games left.
That's right.
So they haven't shown.
It's getting dicey, bud.
It's tight.
It's getting dicey.
I'm so bummed. I don't want Spurs to go down.
By the way, at some point, I do. At some point, we're going to put up my graphics where I texted the group and said Spurs will get 1 point from this game. Forest will get 3 this weekend. Both are right. And West Ham will lose today. And then we'll show the rest of the results because they're calling me Nostradamus right now. Nostradamus. It is stoppage time, sponsored by FanDuel. New customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Okay. Relegation race is in full force. Wolves, by the way, with the Spurs result at home, tying Brighton, meant that they did not get relegated, so they still have everything to play for. Will they get relegated? Yes, I think so. They're not going to win all 5 of their remaining games. But they still have something to play for, and you never know. So now they will be extra motivated to play Spurs and beat Spurs. However, I see this game being very dull, very boring. It could end up a little back and forth-ish at times, but I still think both teams have too much to lose, and Spurs in the end will absolutely take a point. So I think this game finishes goalless. So recap, Unfiltered Soccer same game parlay this week. Winner? Neither. Tie. Final score 0-0. Will both teams score? Of course not then. Score at halftime 0-0. So I'm really inspiring you guys to watch this game, but I think it'll be 0-0. Don't forget to check out the full list of Unfiltered Soccer's same game parlays on our socials later this week. Let's take a break. When we come back, AT&T Fan Connection should be very interesting. We have JR back. She was miserable last week with Andrew doing it. She'll play it off when we bring her in, but she was miserable.
I saw her behind the scenes. She was wearing a Liverpool shirt. She will not come on the show if she's wearing a Liverpool shirt.
No, she will not.
Okay. Just for the record.
We will be right back. We'll get into all of that right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. Stay around. This episode is brought to you by Airbnb.
LD, when I think about big tournaments, you think about unforgettable moments. You and I have been a part of that together.
Yeah.
That Algeria game in South Africa, 2010, we were incredible as a team. But at the end, I get the ball, I give it to you. You go down the field, you and Clint, shot, score. It's etched in my mind. And then I also just think about the memories after the game in the locker room, the elation, being completely emotionally drained, going back to the hotel and the resort and seeing our families. It's like, it's the stuff that dreams are made of. You can't pinch yourself enough in those moments. It was just so special to share that.
You're absolutely right, Timmy. And this summer, fans from around the world will travel to experience the biggest event in the history of the world, the FIFA World Cup 2026. You can be part of the excitement by opening your doors and hosting those fans in your home. If you've ever thought about hosting, this summer is a great time as we welcome FIFA World Cup fans.
Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
All right, Timmy. So earlier this year, we went to Beaver Creek to go skiing. You've been there?
Yeah, I have. It's beautiful.
Amazing place. So we go skiing. We're with two other families. So the kids go. Me and the dads get back. And all we want is a cold beer. And who was in charge of keeping the beer cold?
You.
Who forgot to put them in the fridge?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell the guys. They're like, oh, we'll be over in like 5 minutes. Have the beers ready. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. So what I did, because I'm a smart guy, I chucked them outside in the snow. And it was a total like Hail Mary. Like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. 6 minutes later, bang, freezing cold. They never knew.
They were all happy.
Tell me I'm a genius.
Well, LD, you are a genius. Let me say that.
Thank you.
Amongst other things. You too can taste true mountain cold refreshment. Crack open a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/UFS, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer.
Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
There's nothing better than feeling like someone has your back and that things are going to get done even without you having to ask. Like your crisp new jersey waiting for you in the locker room, or a perfectly set up wall for a free kick.
Yeah, as we on Unfiltered Soccer get ready for next summer, we know that very little in the beautiful game is guaranteed. But as we prepare to bring our unfiltered brand of nonstop soccer coverage, it's good to know AT&T has your back with the AT&T Guarantee.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. That's the AT&T Guarantee.
Learn more at att.com/guarantee. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or a wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Must be connected to impacted towers at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details. It's time for the Fan Connection presented by AT&T. Every week we invite you, the listener, to connect with us by submitting your questions. At AT&T, connecting changes everything. And on USWNT, our connections with you will help grow the game. Welcome into the AT&T Fan Connection. Hello, JR. I'd love to say it's great to see you, but it absolutely is not.
Insufferable.
Is it because I'm what I'm wearing? Yeah.
It's a terrible show.
I wish I could say I was sorry, but I'm certainly not.
It was a
Not
foul.
after
It
what
was a
they've
foul.
put me through
It
lately.
was a foul, by the way.
We've lodged a protest. Van Dijk pulls Tarkovsky.
I have to
Terrible
tell you
referee.
something, and I think that the two of you will understand where I'm coming from when I say this. I will never, ever, ever be upset about Virgil van Dijk putting one past Jordan Pickford after what
That's right.
happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Never,
captain,
ever.
you're captain.
Sorry.
ACL
That's right.
injury.
Timmy, did Jordan didn't do great there, right? Kind of halfway came, and then I was wondering that I was going to text you. He starts to come and then backs off, and then if he stays home, he maybe gets his hand on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, in terms of yeah,
Yeah,
the
right.
distance. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Just had the ball. It's good.
Just head the ball away. All right, go on, Jordan. No more talk
I
about
will
this.
say this was not the shirt I was actually planning on wearing today, but I couldn't help myself. I was actually planning on wearing this shirt, which came in the mail. It's from Onondaga FC in
Where?
Syracuse.
Oh, that's
Ah.
cool. That's a
What
beautiful
league is that?
shirt.
I'm not sure, but it has my
that's cool.
name on the
God.
back.
Dude, these guys know
Onan-
how to get on. Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Good publicity.
You
Onondaga
guys are
FC.
genius. By putting
Onondaga
that.
FC, yes. And I'm pretty sure this shirt is their brand new shirt for the season. So
That's
Cool.
you guys
actually, to
have
be
them
fair,
too, and
that's
they
a
have your names on the back.
Really nice shirt.
It's a dream. It's like the
is.
dreamsicle.
What is
And I have they have the blue that's on the back of this is also their away shirt. And so I have a blue one too
That's
with the
cool.
orange. It's very
How
cool.
What
much-
is
how many shirts do you have?
Onondaga? Is that a city?
I think it's the lake in Syracuse.
Is that
actually
the Hudson River Valley?
no, it's way
Higher,
up.
higher.
So it's like
Higher.
Albany, but to the west of Albany. And
Wow.
Tim, I can tell you because I have a spreadsheet. I have 23 football shirts right
Oh,
now.
nice.
So it's number
Nice.
23. So there you go.
That have been given to you, or that you have told?
No, I've purchased most of them, but thank you
Oh.
to everyone who has sent one in. I appreciate it.
The only thing better than your jersey collection is Landon's lack of East Coast knowledge. That doesn't know where anything is. Hudson Valley. It's amazing. Anyway.
Or his musical knowledge, which we're expanding. Landon,
like-
I'm gonna be adding a
Oh my
Smiths
God.
song to the playlist this week because of the tifo in the Manchester City Arsenal game because they had Panic on the Streets of London
London. I
as
saw
their
that.
tifo, and that's from
Clever. Football
How
Smith's
fans.
about,
song, which is very good.
Forgot to tell you earlier. We didn't talk about Rudy.
Oh my God.
What a
That's-
movie!
You buried the lead, bro.
What a movie!
So
I watched this
everyone-
on the plane. I was bawling. The woman next to me was like, "What is wrong with this guy?"
Landon Donovan watched Rudy.
What a movie!
The movie for the first
For
time.
the
in
first time.
2026.
What
What
a
is
movie.
going on?
I mean,
feel
they
like-
don't make them like that anymore. That
it's
is a
great.
No.
great movie.
And then I
Oh.
will say that we had a really great discussion in the group chat about the best sports movies of all time. I feel like Tim, you and I are pretty much
Oh
currently-
yeah. How about you guys
We
send
top
in your
10, right?
best? Yeah, you guys send us your best top 5 sports movies of all time.
I think it was
yeah,
10.
and then we'll do
No,
a
10's
question.
too many. 10's
We'll
too
do
many.
a question next week where you guys give your top 5s and then we'll read the best answer
All right.
from the
Okay,
fan
deal.
connection.
All right.
All right,
go
let's
ahead,
get into the questions. I tried to bring a little bit of smoke.
I like it. We like this is the best part.
Let's go back to the Matt Crocker conversation for a second. This one is from Nick via email. This one's kind of long, so bear with me for a second. The U.S. soccer faithful needs someone in the TD role who has knowledge of our country's youth programs, understands our media challenges, and knows success at the pro and or national level. I have 5 names in mind when I think about this role. Okay, these are Nick's suggestions.
Mhm.
Okay.
Bob Bradley, who's an experienced winner and devoted to U.S.
Mhm.
soccer. Jim Curtin, who knows how to develop young talent, is a winner with a Philly attitude.
Mhm.
Clint Dempsey, heart of a lion, winner, knows how to punch someone in the face if they need it. Kobe Jones, no one has played more USMNT matches. Or Bruce, the godfather of U.S. soccer arena, no explanation necessary. I
Mhm.
want both of you to tell me why none of these guys will be selected, because we know they won't, and I would love to hear who you would put in this role.
Mhm.
That's a great question. That's a great
Yeah, it
question. I think
So just a reminder, it's Bob Bradley, Jim Curtin,
Jim,
Clint Dempsey, Kobe,
Kobe.
and Bruce.
Bruce.
Mhm.
I think Jim Curtin's a great shout. I think Jim's a really good shout. Jim, was part I think Philadelphia Union have probably are one of the very few teams who've sort of cracked youth development. So he has an understanding of that. He's he's run a team in this country. Yeah, it's a good shout. I think it's a good shout. Does Bob Bradley or Bruce Arena have the appetite to do that? Maybe. They obviously have the knowledge to do it. But Jim's a good shout.
I would say so. Bob wants to be on the field,
Mhm.
right? So would Bob be great for that? Yes, I do think so. Would Bruce be great for it? Fantastic. I don't know if Bruce would want to, but you also they need someone with them who understands all the different people. Bruce has done it he's done it at every level, but people who understand all the different parts of what the role is. So someone who can go hire a head coach and help redefine youth development.
So sorry, you're saying
yeah.
Bob wouldn't want the job because he wants to coach.
Yes.
That would be my
Okay.
guess. I mean, I'm speaking for him here, but I think Clint with somebody who's like really business savvy and understands that piece of it could be great. I mean, like he commands a room. He's passionate. He cares. I don't know if he has the appetite. Jim, I don't know well enough. Jim Curtin. I don't know if he wants to coach again or if this is but if he was interested in it, I would absolutely consider him. Kobe, I don't know if Kobe has the appetite. Kobe, again, with the right person with him, I think can do a great job.
I just, you and I have talked about this, Landon, offline. You sort of there needs to be more than one hire. There has to be like the head of Voltron. It has to be a Matt Crocker role, but then you need some sort of like consiglieres underneath you, right? That are the face of U.S. soccer, right? Like, and I've said this before, someone that sits between the sporting director and Pochettino, right? So when the shit hits the fan, this person comes out, they're front facing in the media, they answer the hard questions, they protect Pochettino, they protect the U.S. soccer name.
They're very well respected. People listen to what
very
they say.
well,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And there might be someone else that sort of reports into the sporting director, but they're all this like team. It's just like a whole Voltron sort of thing. Because ultimately what we're saying, and this is sort of like where, again, with respect, where Matt Crocker, whether he got it right or wrong, sort of put this plan together and this implementation of like this new youth system. Well, that's different than someone being a dog who's out in front of the media going, no, protecting Pochettino, protecting Pulisic. It's like a figurehead. So that it's more of like a trifecta sort of role, not just like a one person, if that makes sense.
Well, he might argue too that Matt Crocker might argue that Gooch was part of that. Gooch Onyewu, right? Who also will be a candidate for this job. And I think would be a good candidate to like look at seriously. So he would argue that piece of it. But yeah, I think it needs to be multiple people.
Right, but we haven't seen that. Well, my point is when all of this was happening,
mm-hmm.
we saw nobody but Pochettino, who had to measure his words. We had to decipher sort of how he was saying things and why he was saying things. He was hamstrung. He couldn't say certain things about certain players. You and I know that, right? And we can read between lines. But so that person, whether they exist in the current U.S. soccer setup, they haven't come to the forefront. We haven't seen them.
Well, they don't. Yeah, they don't exist. Okay. Yeah. Good question.
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is from Scott via email. And Scott says, you two always talk about how development sucks in the U.S.
Yes.
And I agree for that on the men's side. But how come the U.S. women's national team has success year after year, yet the men's side isn't as successful? Do you think there is a difference in development, or is the women's side of this discussion just totally different than the men's?
Great.
Totally different, but great question.
Totally different. Mm-hmm. Totally different. And we have years of head start on the women's side. And the rest of the world does a great job now too, as a general statement. But on the men's side, there seems to, how do I best say this? There seems to be a more common goal with girls in the women's side about doing what's best for the national team. And I've seen it. I have a daughter who plays now. I saw it when I'm coaching the Wave. Kids would come over all the time from local club teams, and they were like, yes, train with the Wave. That's an amazing opportunity. Whereas now with SDFC here, they're like, no, don't go train with them. We don't want you leaving for SDFC. We want you to stay here. And I think because for the longest time, there's been so much money made off the backs of these young male players that is like the ecosystem that exists. And for the women's side, it just doesn't exist that way. Maybe it will at some point, but it just doesn't exist that way from what I've seen.
Yeah, I think, and by the way, because we know you can catch strays having this conversation. I'm open to someone coming in next week and saying I'm wrong. for what got lost in the conversation, which is a very healthy conversation about equal pay and all of the rest of that. What got lost in that conversation was women's soccer in America at every level, top all the way down to the bottom, was so far ahead of the rest of the world. Like forget the fact that they were underpaid. That's important. Women were playing, little girls were playing soccer in this country in mass. Since when? 80s? I don't know, right? Where you're looking at other countries, little girls can't get on the field. And we're so far ahead. Now we talk about the rest of the world like catching up to us. We've had such a head start that it's great that these countries are catching up to us in 2026, but they're still miles behind. There's a couple countries, Germany and England and the rest, but like the rest of the world is so far behind. So far behind. So we have for every youth soccer team, there's equal amount of boys teams as girls teams. Then you go to the high schools. Then you go to college, and college then had Title IX, right? Go to some of these Caribbean countries. Girls aren't allowed to play soccer. And if they are, they're getting hand-me-down uniform. We're so far ahead. And so when you talk about like why, and then contrast that with sort of like men's sports. When you look at it, I mean, LD and I grew up, there's hockey, baseball, basketball, football, right? Like there's all these sports. For women, like one of the highest level sports in America is soccer.
Yep.
I think there's softball.
There were only a few to you could play.
There's only a few to play.
Yeah, that's right.
For
a long time.
Couldn't play basketball.
Right.
There was not, there wasn't
no football. Now there's flags.
So soccer was so far ahead.
Yeah.
I also think like as somebody who was 12 years old when the 99ers came into the public eye, that the fact that the women's national team was winning the World Cup that long ago versus like, I think a lot of young men who were probably the same age as me were looking at guys like Kobe who were going to play in England, right? So we were also looking at the sport from a different perspective. Like to us, it was like, if you start playing soccer now at 12, you could grow up and win the World Cup, right? Versus like, if you play soccer now as a boy, I don't know if you're going to win the World Cup, but you could end up playing in the Premier League, which was where everything was going at the time. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point because, Landon and I are of a similar age, but the first time you talk about the 99ers, the first time you saw soccer as a woman, like really, Michelle Akers was the best in the world. 1990. Mia Hamm was an absolute star in that light blue shirt. I don't know, we're reading Soccer America, whatever you're like, she's an absolute star. So as soon as it sort of came into your vernacular or kind of came into your headspace, you're like, these are the best.
Yeah.
Where Landon and I, the first time we saw someone was Michael Jordan, Ken Griffey. Like we saw all these different stars that had nothing to do with soccer.
Right.
And then when we did see us, Tony Meola, Tab Ramos, John Harkes, we sort of like, they were our heroes, but they weren't like, people didn't see them as that. So yeah, the women's game is really far ahead. It's a great conversation.
Okay. I would like to leave us with one new rule. We haven't done one in a while. So here we go. This one is from Charlie via email. What if goals scored in open play were worth 2 points and PKs were worth 1 point? This makes more sense to me since PK goals don't seem equivalent to regular play goals.
You're right. They're not equivalent. They're from an XG standpoint, which whatever is way more likely to score. Do they do this in other sports? I'm trying to think. I mean, the 3-point line versus 2-point or free throws.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that in football too, right? Like certain, if you kick from a certain time in the game or place or whatever. I don't know anything about American football.
Wait,
Sorry.
what? No.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Please, time out. A field goal is not worth the same number of points every
As
time
a
you
touchdown.
kick it.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Whether you do it like in the middle of
in
play
fantasy football,
versus
it's
at the
not.
end.
I'll correct you, Jared.
Fantasy.
So,
If you kick it after a touchdown, it's worth 1.
It's 1. Okay.
If
I'm
you
not
kick
insane.
it in the game, it's 3. No, you're not insane. I just didn't want you to
Thank
go out
you.
in public and say that. Everyone hammer you.
I'm not talking about American football in public. Don't worry about it.
No.
This is
Okay,
as
good.
much as I will ever do.
I will say to Charlie, LD, when I was a kid, we played in the youth soccer tournament, local Jersey tournament, and it was this same one every year, Metuchen or St. Joe's or something. And it was the only one I've ever played in. And goals were worth 1, and corner kicks were worth half a point. I have no idea why.
That's
I have no idea why. So you get like you be in the, and we're 6, bro. We're like running around. We're so happy, right? Like grabbing an arm slice from mom, and like you're running down, and you get a corner kick, and you're losing. You're like, get another corner kick, get another corner kick, and you just add these up, and you win. Like you actually win. The other team scores more goals, but you
have
win
more
because you didn't
corners.
score. You had more corners. Rule change that I really like. Sorry, I'm going on record, and I think I talked to the group about this. It's not the XFL anymore. What is it? UFL, the new football league.
Yeah.
UFL. They're trialing loads of new rules, and I love this. And Andrew hates it. Anything LD, you can kick so on 4th down or whenever you want to kick a field goal. Any field goal that you kick 60 yards or longer, because you know how people are starting to be able to kick, you get 4 points instead of 3. Love it. Because also there's a decision to make. If you at 60 yards, you're on
the 50.
No.
To kick at 60 yards, you're on the 50-yard line.
Right. So you miss.
They get it at the 50.
And you're getting great field position.
That's
so
right.
it's sort of like a.
By the way, how about the games that are like 24-20 in the 4th? And so now you're like, we got to score a touchdown. Now you could be like, oh, we just got to kick a 60-yarder.
Or you get. I mean, Brandon Aubrey's like, what did he kick? These guys are kicking like 70.
170 yards now.
It's crazy. I love it. Actually, just get the kickoff. Fair catch the kickoff and kick a field goal from 78.
Wait, okay, but what about Charlie's new rule?
Charlie, you're out.
Soccer?
Charlie, you're out.
I don't like it. Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie. Corner kicks, half a point, maybe. Penalties, I'm out.
Okay, just a reminder for everybody listening. Number
Yes.
1, send your questions to feedback@unfilteredsoccer.com, but also send in your top 5 sports movies of all time. We will pick the best one and talk about them next week. That's
Great.
it.
Thanks, JR.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, JR.
Great job, Timmy. Another great show. Hope everyone has an amazing week. Thanks to all of you for being with us. As always, subscribe, hit that little button on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your pods. Follow us at Unfiltered Soccer for all the bonus content. Thanks, as always, to our presenting sponsor, VW, our Fan Connection sponsor, AT&T, and our Stoppage Time sponsor, FanDuel.
Yeah, thank you to our Unfiltered Refresh sponsor, Coors Light, and our additional sponsors, Airbnb and Walmart. Have an amazing week. We will be back next Tuesday with another edition of Unfiltered Soccer.